This is MIA2K Podcast, and we are your ticket from Miami to Seoul. We are your pilots, Kathy and Laura, two fun-seeking girls with obsessive fandom tendencies, taking you on a ride through the Hallyu wave from our perspective as opinionated, grown Latina fans from Miami.
Before we close the cabin doors, make sure you're following us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. And if you like to watch, our in-flight podcast video is available on YouTube and Spotify.
Once we reach our cruising altitude, we'll be serving one thing and one thing only, piping hot tea. We're ready to fly into today's topic with our hot and sunny takes.
So fasten your seatbelts, sit back, relax, and prepare for takeoff. Hi, guys.
Hi.
This week, we're bringing you a light and airy episode to pace ourselves as we take down every K-pop entertainment company for their shady practices.
So today, we're here to talk about Photocards. This is a show and tell episode, so we highly recommend that you check it out on YouTube or Spotify to watch our video component, because if not, you might be a little bit confused.
A little bit. Gonna be fun.
Yeah. Watch us be unhinged. The unhinged energy is just so much better on video. I'm so sorry. I'd love to be wrong, but I'm not.
So I think you were the one that first started to like really go at it. So I feel like it.
I mean, I was gonna share my origin story, my villain origin story in a little bit.
What are photocards?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked, Laura. For everybody watching, you'll see that my background today has been invaded by one Min Yoongi, Sugar, Lil Meow Meow, August D, Big Purper, Minstradamus, Min PD, all the names, because I decided to display my collection as I go into bankruptcy to get every single photo card that he made available with his D-Day drop. So, and the tour. So that's what my background is, but I will go into that in a little bit. But photo cards, which are displayed behind me, are exclusive printed collectible photos of idols that are included in albums and sometimes merch purchases. Laura is also showing hers. Basically, with K-pop, they decided that CDs are still going to be a thing, but obviously no one cares about CDs anymore because of streaming. But the way that they made us all care about CDs again, and Laura and I both got CD players after, like in our big age, after years of not needing them. Because of, we're like, oh, we're going to buy all these albums. Like, might as well have a CD player just in case one day we're feeling, nostalgic. And the only reason that any of us are buying these albums is because they include the photo cards in them. The photo cards are randomized, and there are usually multiple versions of an album. So they have different concepts in each version. So you don't know, number one, which member you're getting of the group, because the albums obviously are sealed. They're not coming in a typical jewel case for the most part. And the ones that do are opaqued, like they have like paper covers and stuff, so you can't see anything inside. And so, yeah, you have no way of knowing what photo card is included. And that is what they do as marketing geniuses to get all of us to purchase multiple albums, like my dumbass. Clearly, you can see back here. And you boost their sales so that it looks like they're selling a lot of albums. And everybody's like, but how do they sell like 75 albums to one person? That one person's trying to collect photo cards. That's what photo cards are.
They're just a way to get us to buy albums that are literally irrelevant because streaming services exist.
Yeah. And most people don't even look at the album after they pull out the photo card. And by most people, I mean us.
I like the inclusions.
I like them too, but I can't tell you that I have ever been like, ooh, let me look at the photo album inside of the album that I bought 6 months ago. Like, I've never looked at the album again. I mean, I'm glad if you do it, hey, it looks like someone's actually getting her money's worth. I'm not.
I do, just because I forget that they exist. So sometimes I'm looking at my bookshelf and I'm like, oh, I bought this. And then I like open it and it's like, oh, what?
But yeah, I hope everyone's doing that. I'm not. I should. Maybe I'll start.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So photo cards actually come in, I want to say, a lot of shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
The normal or usual, I guess you could call it, photo card size is
It's 2 by 3 inches in our stupid imperial
oh,
system. But for all the K-pop fans all over the world who are better than us and live on the metric system, that would be like a little bit under 57 by 88 millimeters. So that's the most commonly found photo card. Laura
and
pulled
then
out her favorite photo cards to display during this episode. So
And then there's also bigger photo cards that are, I want to say, substantially bigger. They're about 73 by 103 millimeters. And I actually prefer the smaller cards.
yeah, the smaller cards have some charm to it. The size and everything is just it's just a standard. And the bigger ones are
Mm,
often called mini tour cards. Also notoriously, Monster X has its own photo card size.
mm.
And I found out because we're gonna talk about like protecting your photo cards and stuff, but there are sleeves that are made specifically to fit Monster X photo cards because most of the typical sleeves don't fit them.
But anyway, basically a lot when like non-K-poppies ask what the hell are photo cards or like to ask for an explanation, usually we say, oh, they're basically like Pokemon basketball, baseball cards. It's the
Hmm.
same concept. It's just picture of idols.
Yeah. A lot of photo cards are selfies. There's something about like a personal element to it. Like you kind of have it in your think about it as like when people back in the day had pictures in their wallet of like their family and stuff. So this is
Right,
like your boyfriend who lives in South Korea and doesn't know you exist and you have his picture instead of on your wallet on the back of your phone. That's a tradition
right.
now. So or hanging from your bag, you have your little photo card holder. So that's a tradition today. But yeah, I basically whenever people ask me about photo cards, I'm like baseball cards is the same concept but with K-pop
Right.
idols. That's just my go-to answer.
I think this is a good point where we can go and say why we actually collect them. When we first started, I think we were both like, what the fuck? Like, this is so dumb.
Yeah,
And
this
then
is
here
I'm
we
telling you
are.
my villain origins, one of my many villain origin stories, and one of the many times that I said absolutely the fuck not, only to then U-turn very hard into give me more, you know? So I'll start with my story is very simple. Laura got me into K-pop, and then I was going through like a rough time, and she got me the Army Bomb, which was super nice of her. It arrived, and actually we have an unboxing of it on YouTube, so I'll post the video. But yeah, that was my first light stick in 2021. We didn't think we were ever gonna use it, and we got to use it that same year, which is bananas.com. So yeah,
Truly.
she got me the light stick, and I had no idea the light stick would come with photo cards inside because I had said I'm not going to collect photo cards. At this point, I had been into K-pop a few months and I had seen a couple of TikToks about it, but I'm like, me collecting photo cards? Why would I
Come
do
on.
that? At my big
Exactly.
age? Mm-mm. But then the light stick came with the photo cards of all the members, and I was like, oh my God, I got all the members. Look at me. And then I don't even know what the next one was. I think you had me the light stick in March.
I did, yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't know. All of a sudden you are collecting the McDonald's ones, like
Oh,
out of
right. That was the
nowhere.
thing. So yeah, so the McDonald's drop happened in May of 2021. So the butter also butter the butter cardigan
Mercer.
brought the photo cards of all the members, and then the McDonald's merch brought a random member card. And I think the first one I pulled from the McDonald's merch because we I think I did several purchases of McDonald's merch at
Yeah,
different points in time. So I think the first one was V. Then I pulled Jen, so I gave it to Laura.
thank
And
you.
then I pulled Sugar. I actually pulled Sugar with one of my merch buys. I think that's the only time that I've ever pulled Sugar.
Thank
So, but I had bought him before I pulled him
right.
because I didn't think I was gonna buy another McDonald's purchase ever again. But then, so yeah, now I have two Sugar McDonald's cards. If anybody wants to trade with me, I have to. And yeah, so that's I think that's right, Laura. That's how it basically slowly cascaded. And
Right.
then when I started going to cup sleeve events, everybody had them like in binders and sleeved and all these things. And I was like, well, I guess I have to preserve them. And once you have them in a binder, you are like, oh, look at all this space that I have now. Let me go buy a
It's
million of
true.
them.
It's true.
It just cascades. You don't even notice.
You don't notice. I honestly don't remember how it started because I don't think it was with the butter or the McDonald's ones. Because the only McDonald's card I have is, I think, the gin you gave me.
Mm-hmm.
Because the merch that I bought didn't bring photo cards. So I'm not sure how I ended up here, but somehow I'm here with 3 binders, like 2 1-inch binders and one 1.5-inch binder. Yeah, I'm not sure how I got here, but here I am, and now I I can't stop.
I mean, there's something just really exciting about opening an album and hoping that you get the person that you like. It doesn't happen often, but it happened to Laura today. Yeah.
Guys, oh my God, it's gonna be my lucky week. You don't understand. You don't understand. I have this curse that I always get the photo card of the member that I more like meh about, not that I like it's just meh. And today that curse is broken. I bought the NCT Dojae perfume first mini album, and I got a POB, which Kathy just told me today means, hold up, pre-order, pre-order.
I just told her
Pre-order,
this like literally
pre-order
half an hour
benefit.
ago. Good job,
Pre-order
Laura.
benefit.
Good
Thank you, thank
job.
you. Pre-order benefit and the photo card inside of the album was Doyoung, so, and I love him.
Both.
So
She pulled two doyoungs because like the pre-order benefit is always random. You can't ask for it as well as
no,
the album. So yeah, she really said, I'm
yeah,
God's favorite today.
thank God. Thank God. I would have been pretty upset. But yeah, like it's just fun.
It is. Like for me,
And
seeing this little thing in the background, it's just like there's like an end goal, there's a purpose. The purpose is bullshit, but you know what I mean. There's
happiness.
just like, yeah, at this point, it's like I'm not gonna pay for therapy, but this is my therapy, you know? That's kind of where I'm at right
I
now.
do. I do.
Yeah.
I really do. We actually have these like I mean, at least I've noticed. I don't know if it's true. I've noticed that we have these bouts where we don't really buy a lot of photo cards, and then all of a sudden both of us are buying photo cards left and right.
I don't know what
But
this
it could
bout
just
is
be
that
that
you're
Kathy
talking about because the past like two
that Kathy
months
just
for
doesn't
me,
talk.
these past 2 months for me
Yeah.
have been insane. I need to stop.
But before that, there was like a little lull, just a little bit.
I don't remember a time when I wasn't insane.
Okay, never mind.
No, I'm just being funny. I know that like I can look at my
No,
eBay
no, but
purchases and stuff and I'm just like, when wasn't like buying photo cards the center of my weekends and nights? And I don't know. I don't remember that time.
I don't count the photo cards that we get at cup sleeves a thing. It's more like the ones that are like not.
I think we should talk really quickly about prices because I feel like maybe people are
Oh
wondering who
yeah.
don't collect. So
Yeah.
I also wanted to make a point to say that there is the monetary value of the photo card, but there's also the emotional value. Like we're joking around
Yeah.
with the therapy thing. But I was at a Cubsy with a friend and I was like, oh my God, do I buy it? Do I not? And then I bought it. And then I guess like my face transformed in that moment, like just the happiness of like having it and owning it. And she goes, you see that smile? That's why we buy all the photo cards. So it like really does have an immediate like release of dopamine, serotonin, and all the
Mm,
things like right away. And
it's
then
true.
you literally want more because it just keeps having that same effect every time because every photo card is a different experience.
It is.
So typically, because you get the photo card is free in theory because it comes as part of the album inclusion, you wouldn't really call out any of the album inclusions by price. So albums and K-pop range in price depends on what type of album you're getting. They have imagine it like basically there's paperback book covers or there's hard book covers. So there are some albums that are not as intense as other versions, and not every company does this, and they don't do it for every single album. Sometimes all the versions are the same type of album, but
Mm,
other times there's like a collector's edition or there's a jewel case, which are the CDs that we are all used to here in the West that no one really cares for or whatever, but those are typically cheaper. So I would say the average that you would pay for a K-pop album right now that is like a regular album is somewhere between 17 and $25. I would say that's kind of the
mm,
medium price.
Makes
So
sense.
that would be the price of the photo card basically. But the thing is, we don't really know how companies dish out, print out the photo card. So we don't know if they print the same exact amount of every member. Sometimes there are members that are more popular than others. So when people decide to put their photo cards up for resale or for sale, they might price them differently based on the member, which is a super annoying practice. Like
Rude.
the fucking worst. The actual fucking
Rude.
worst.
But I mean, it makes sense. It's demand. But
Yeah.
it's just annoying because sometimes the difference between members' photo cards is
Astronomical.
like not just, yeah, it's not like $2, $3, it's hundreds of dollars. So it's pretty annoying.
Like, it's not just that, it's, like, genuinely disrespectful. Like, I'm not gonna name any
Yeah.
names of anyone because I don't want to make this point about any specific group, but there's really hardworking members, and I'm not gonna say that we all have to love everyone. Of course, we're allowed to bias who we want, we're allowed to like any
Yeah.
member more than another one, but it's like Laura said, the difference is not small. So it just feels really
Mm.
disrespectful to those members. Like, I can only imagine there are 70 million gajillion reasons why I would never be a K-pop idol. And one of them would be the depression that would set in when you see that like you don't sell as much merch as someone else in your team. Like,
Yeah.
or that your merch is
Yeah.
priced low.
Yeah.
That mental game, I can only imagine.
And it's not like you can be like, well, I'm sure it doesn't really affect it. It's humanly impossible to at least not for a second or two be like, oh shit, okay.
Yeah,
Maybe they move on quickly because they're used to it or whatever, but like even for a second, it's still really sucky.
right. And they're
Like,
still getting paid, but are they getting paid differently? And it's just gotta hurt. It's gotta sting.
yeah. But with that said, where can we get photo cards aside from albums? Because as Kathy was saying, people put them up for sale.
Mm-hmm.
And usually you can find them in like your normal places,
Yeah.
eBay, Mercari, but there's also a lot of sales through social media,
Mm-hmm.
Twitter, Instagram. I don't think I've seen TikTok, but maybe I just haven't landed
I've seen a
on like
couple of people that like well, for example, somebody who went to like a pop-up in London
mm,
and they'll be like,
mhm.
"Oh my God, I just got a bunch of like extra. So if you want like moods, DM me or something." But that's
Oh,
not really like common practice, I don't think, to sell
right.
photo cards via TikTok. Yeah.
Aside from like social media, like we mentioned earlier, there's also cup sleeve events.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes vendors bring binders of photo cards that they're willing to sell for whatever reason. And a lot of K-pop shops have photo cards for sale, like individual photo cards for sale, aside from like albums and stuff. So
Yeah.
there is a lot of places to get them, and the prices range
Girl,
from,
do
oh,
they
okay,
range?
to, oh my God.
Do I mortgage my house for this photo card kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to a cup sleeve last year in March where they were selling the photo card of from Map of the Soul 7, I believe, from Jimin with blue hair and the white outfit. And they had the entire set. Mind you, that entire set, which brings 8 photo cards, cost around, I don't know, $25 face value. Maybe on eBay you can find all 8 photo cards for like 45, 50 plus shipping. These bitches, and I'm gonna say it with my whole chest looking straight at the camera, because girl, we're selling them for 45 a piece. A piece. And I'm like,
That's
yeah, sure,
ridiculous.
queen, like, mark your price, but like, why are you trying to get your entire college tuition and pay for your car payment based on like me buying a photo card from you? Like, that's just
Yeah.
fucked up. And let me tell you, I went to another Cup Sleeve event months later and I bought them for $3 each.
Yeah. Usually cup sleeve events, not that one time, but usually cup sleeve events have the photo cards at a more affordable price
Totally, totally.
because they're also fans selling them and they're not trying to make you sell your house to get this
Right.
photo card
They're just trying to make
because
some money back so they can
right,
also buy some more stuff. Yeah.
right. At eBay and Mercari, it also tends to be just sellers, people that know photo cards are a thing and then
Yeah.
just buy a bunch of albums and then they resell it to make a profit. So they really don't care. They're
Yeah.
just wanting to make money from you.
Yeah.
So they will sell it for however much they need.
Yeah. I love buying them at cup sleeve events also because when you're buying on eBay, and this is kind of segueing into our next point, you don't know if they're real, and we'll talk about this
Sure.
a little bit more. When it comes to cup sleeves, it's more certain that they're real. It's not it's never going to be a guarantee in life ever, but you can be a little bit more calm or like rest assured that, these are just people that you see all the time. They bought the albums, they have the extra photo cards that they don't want, and they're
Right.
selling them just to make some money back. So usually when you buy a cup sleeves, you can just chill knowing that what you're buying, not knowing, but thinking pretty confidently
Right.
that what you're buying is a real photo card and it's not a reprint that someone else faked.
Also, a lot of the vendors that, go to cup sleeve events around, for example, like South Florida where we live, it's the same vendors over and over. They don't want to get caught selling something that they said was real
Yeah.
and it's fake because it hurts them in the end. So,
And a lot of times, like they do the unboxings too. So we saw them pulling out all the cards, and then they'll be like, "Oh,
right,
I don't want any of these, so I'm gonna sell them at the next event."
right.
So here's what gets me also about the prices that people do on eBay and stuff. And I've noticed it more now that I'm in the process of collecting all of Sugar's cards. And maybe people are watching or listening and they're like, I don't get it. Just like, get the albums. Why do you have to buy them on eBay, or why do you have to whatever? Because obviously, if you think that they're going to be more expensive on eBay, why would you buy them there? Here's the reason. Sugar is living his best capitalist king life in the sense of like he hates capitalism, but he knows that that's a system. So he's going to thrive in it and do whatever the system allows for. So with these photo cards, he only had two versions of the album, technically. But then what he did, and what other people do as well, is that there's a different special photo card assigned to each type of shop. So,
Mm,
for example, this photo card is only coming in the Weverse albums that come to USA. These back here, these are from the Weverse digital version of the music album. But then these two are only available from Target albums. And then this one is only available from Walmart albums. So what happens is, because I saw somebody on eBay selling the Target one for like 35 plus shipping. And I was like, the album costs $22 at Target. And it's not sold out. Who would buy the $30 whatever one on eBay? And I'm thinking it has to be international fans that don't have access to Target. So they have no other choice but to buy this one. And
right.
in my case, for example, all these blank spots up here are from Japan because Japan always gets treated like the best fandom of all time. And they every single time get special. I guess they buy a lot. It has to be the reason. And it's easier and cheaper to ship from Korea to Japan. So they always, whenever any group really makes any sort of content, they always make special versions for Japan. And Japan people know that, so they put it up for sale for like a lot of money. And you don't have a
Mm,
choice because only Japan has it. There's no way that I could, unless I went to Japan myself, get
yeah.
any of these things. So
One of my favorite photo cards ever is a Japan exclusive. It's Mingyu and Woozi
it is one of her favorite cards ever.
together.
I can vouch for this.
And it's like a Japan exclusive from like a Japan fan meeting they did. And there was nowhere else I could get it but eBay. But when you see the perfection of it, you
Worth
would
it.
understand why I did it.
Right. So when you do go on eBay, here's the thing. There might be, because obviously we know all these things are produced in Korea and Japan at the end of the day. What stops somebody from just printing it the exact same dimensions and everything and selling it to you as a fake? Nothing. The answer is nothing.
Nothing.
No one can really stop this. If they claim it's original, there's very little like ways for you to know. The only way that I've seen people actually spotting fakes is usually like when they buy an album or something, or they have the album and then they buy a photo card and then they put them side by side and they don't look the same. So
Right.
this actually happened to me, not with a photo card, but with like a postcard
Mm,
from the BTS album Proof, because I pulled RM and I could have traded him, but I chose not to because I choose balance every day of my life and I choose to spend money every day of my life. So I wanted both. I wanted RM and I wanted Yoongi. So I bought the Yoongi one. And when the Yoongi one arrived, which I got it on eBay, I noticed some slight differences in the size of the print for some things in the back. So it could be that there is a difference in the printing process in general, but I feel like it's fake or I got scammed. But at the end of the day, I also think, I mean, what is a real photo card and what is a fake? It's all
Yeah.
like a printed thing. We're just under the illusion that like, oh, it came from the album, it came from the company, it's real.
Yeah.
But it's also like the same thing. So
I mean, the 8 from 17 literally told his fans, "Don't spend money, just print them out." Because they in the end, they're really just pieces of paper.
really,
Like, they don't have a stamp, they don't have like a seal, they
a
don't have
signature. It's not like they
anything.
come. Sometimes they come
Uh,
signed, but most of them don't. So
Yeah, but not signed with like a pen, signed like digitally that anybody could do. So it really just a piece of paper.
actually, there's some Stray Kids Polaroids
Mm-hmm.
that most, like the majority, obviously the vast majority of what they sell are a
Mm-hmm.
copy of the Polaroid. But
Yeah.
then JYP also includes the Polaroid in like a lucky 8 boxes. So you
Oh,
could at some point pull out a signature, like actually signed with a marker, the original picture.
wow.
It could happen. It's a thing. But anyway, back to the fakes. So again, it's really hard to spot fakes. I'm not really sure whether my purchase was a fake or not, but just some tidbits that I've seen on videos from YouTube of what you can do to try and avoid buying a fake uh photo card. Number one, there's sometimes tricky wording. Like they will try to say original or they will try to say authentic or whatever, which who knows. But then in the description, they try to get away with murder, but they never say like this came from the album or whatever. They'll say like originally made in Korea. Doesn't really mean that it's original from the company.
Mm-hmm.
So if you see that the language is kind of ambiguous, don't buy it because it's probably them trying to get away with murder by being vague in the description. The second thing, and I think this is the biggest one for me, on eBay, you can see where at the very top, how many they have available and how many they have sold.
Mm-hmm.
There is a chance that there are just, manufacturers or providers or whatever that do buy massive amounts of albums to just profit off of this, and they buy a lot of them. But if
Yeah.
I see that somebody has sold 99 photo cards of the same kind, I don't trust that it's a real one. I just don't. If
That's
they
true.
have like 7 or 8, yeah, that could happen
Makes
for
sense.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, especially people, because people buy, another reason why people buy albums is not just for photo cards, but it's because there's an added benefit that is like a raffle. Based on how many albums you buy, you get more entries and you can potentially have a call with an idol. It's called a fan sign or a fan call.
Mm,
So the more albums you buy, the higher your chances. So yeah, there is a chance that some people would buy 500 albums and then they have all these photo cards that they're trying to get rid of. But
right.
I wouldn't trust someone who has a shit ton of sales.
Mm-mm.
And then another, this is a very random one, and I was trying to look for one that had this. Give me one sec. So this photo card that I just pulled from my album, if you can look, I don't know if you can see it on the screen, but if you can look at the top right here and right here, there's some like break off points of
Mm,
where they cut it or ripped it when the photo cards were printed. It's not always on the same spot. I'm just showing you where it is on mine. And I've seen videos on YouTube that say that that's a potential indicator of a real photo card because that's, the labels get them printed in like
mhm.
massive amounts. So
Right.
that's a way to potentially tell. I don't know if that's necessarily always helpful, just
Mhm.
because I don't know how the fake people print it. Because they might
Right.
also print it in batches and they might also have to like rip it so they have the little thing.
Right.
But that's something that I saw in a video, so I figured it was worth talking about it here.
And I mean, not all photo cards that are real have them,
Correct.
but I have noticed that most of them do,
Mm-hmm.
especially the normal size.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger ones, not necessarily. And I know I'm showing up the bigger photo card on
The mini
camera.
tour ones, yeah.
I know this is real because we got it at the high building. But this one doesn't have any because I think because of the size, they're just printed differently.
Correct.
Aside from what the tips that Kathy gave, there's also a lot of websites that look super, 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 super legit. And they have all of the right descriptions and all of the right things. But then there's the one thing that's like a little bit off.
Mm-hmm.
Recently, I was looking for a gift for a friend for her birthday, and I was looking for Stray Kids photo cards. And I got into this website that looked extremely, extremely legit. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. This is so good. And then what Kathy said, like the one tiny description was like originally made it here. It was shop high quality Stray Kids merch and K-pop merch at K-pop fashion store. That's us. Everything else looked so real. Like I'm gonna send you the link because I almost fell for it. And then like after I started looking more like into it, I was like, duh, like how could you fall for this? This is so dumb. But I almost did.
Yeah,
I really almost
you
did.
never know because they they also learn. They know what people might be looking out for. They know how to be more legit. So yeah, when they say that it costs a certain amount and then there's like a dramatic price drop,
Mm,
that could be a
yeah.
thing.
And the crappy thing that they do here is they sell some as photo cards and then they sell others as Lomos to give the impression that some of them are real and some of them are fake, but they're all fake.
Right. And this is a great segue to talk about Lomos
Oh
because
yeah.
that's a on another important thing. So like just because a card is not made by the label doesn't mean necessarily that it's a fake, depending on the context, as long as you know when you get it that it's
Right.
not from the label.
Right.
So Lomos are what fans use, like the term that fans use to call photo cards that are fan made now. Like that's just a term. Based on a Reddit post, it says that Lomo cards were originally a small cardstock or a card that has a custom print on it. They typically refer to some of those small paper card things with pictures, illustrations with low quality print, and have a weird hollow trademark on them and aren't from an official source. Which again, now that has become the term that fans use to let people know, like, oh, these are Lomo cards.
Right.
So Laura was asking me, like, is it an acronym? And I'm like, I don't think so. I've looked into it like a bunch of times and I swear I can't find it. But then I looked deeper and then somebody said that maybe it's because when you look up in Hangul the letters Lomo, it brings up camera related stuff. So then
Mm-hmm.
I looked into that and then it says like there's an actual science about pictures, which is called lomography. It's a photographic style which involves taking spontaneous photographs with minimal attention to technical details. Bunch of other things that are irrelevant and I'm not going to read, but in that same thing that I found on my bestie Wikipedia, it did have acronym from like Soviet era cameras. And so the acronym is actually Russian and it stands for, and I don't speak Russian, so forgive me, we should call Claire for this. It stands for
Ленинградское оптико-механическое объединение. Leningrad Optical Mechanical Association.
the acronym for Lomo came from that. Now we all know.
Super
And
like super fun fact,
very
actually.
fun fact. Like just
Because
found it out before this episode because I'm telling you, I've been looking for months. Couldn't find it.
we've like it's been like an actual like hot topic in our chats.
Yeah.
Like, what is a Lomo and where did it come from? Now we
Laura and I are such nerds for like knowing definitions and things and like getting to the root of the thing. Like tell me tell me where it's from. Tell me what it means. It's an acronym. And I'm like, Laura, I don't know. I've looked into it. I don't know what to tell you. But that's what it seems like it isn't. So that's that on Lomos. And Lomos, for your information, usually you can find them either for free. They come as freebies when you buy things either in person or online. Or you can also buy them because some people do sell their Lomos. And as long as they let you know that they're Lomos, there's nothing wrong with that. They're
no,
usually very cheap and they're usually really good quality too. So
super good quality. I have a couple of Stray Kids Lomos that our friend got for me, and they look so real.
Laura
And
went on TikTok live and she was struggling for like half an hour to remember whether or not those cards were Lomos because she couldn't tell.
I couldn't. They were such good quality, like amazing. I have never experienced this, and this is not a good segue, but it's fine. I have never experienced this because the Targets by my house don't really have a lot of K-pop albums out, but Kathy has experienced this quite a lot.
Mm,
And it always, she always sends a message like, these fucking assholes,
yeah.
because that's what they are.
Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, one of the places where you can buy albums so that you can get photo cards is Target. And Target actually tends to have deals with a lot of these K-pop companies or whatever to include an extra Target card. So you can only get this one type of card if you buy the album at Target. And you can also see this on TikTok. This is not unique to me or my neighborhood by any means, but I have gone to Target several times and I look through the K-pop album section and you see it, like they ripped through the plastic and they steal the photo cards and then just leave the albums there. It happened once while I was out with our friend Alex, and Alex was like, "Oh, I saw on TikTok that like the right thing to do is to like take them to the Target people so that they can put it away." So we took it to them, and the guy was so confused. He's like, "But the CD is still in here, like everything's still in here." And we're like, "No, no, you don't understand. Like they're looking for like a specific card." And that's when we're like, "Oh, like a baseball card." And funny enough, both Alex and I had photo cards on us, so we pull them out, and we're like, "They're looking for this." And he's like, "Oh, okay." And then like all the Target people at the time were like conferencing, like, "Oh, this is what they were looking for. Oh, okay, I get it." So we literally told them, like, please put all the albums in the back, like make people ask for them because they'll steal the photo cards. I don't know what it is about specifically Target. I know every K-pop shop gets hit some way, somehow, but there's something about the Targets that is just an easy target.
It is. Hey, it actually is, because I know Barnes and Nobles, who also sells albums, doesn't display them. And I don't think I have seen Walmart display them either. They usually sell them just like online.
Right.
And the Target album section, like the physical album section, because it's not just K-pop, they sell
Right.
all other artists. It's always in this part of the store that nobody really goes to.
Mm,
So it's easy to just kind of like duck in the back, open it really quickly, and take out the photo cards.
yeah.
Because it's usually towards the back, towards like the car backyard area that people don't really go to a lot. So it's just,
Yeah.
they make it easy for
Yeah.
people to steal them.
Yeah, and the plastic that is used to cover K-pop albums is usually a very light plastic. It's not like
Mm,
that vinyl type that makes noise when you open it. It's a
right.
very like light, kind of almost like a saran wrap, but like better.
Right.
So it's easy to just like put a nail through and like slide the cards out and just move on to your next hit. So, please don't do that. Like that's just so messed up. That's because that means that they're not going to sell the album and the artist is going to miss out on their charting. And
When Kathy was saying that they come in like saran wrap type of plastic, a lot of the albums that aren't like jewel cases, which is the normal album type that we're all used to, they come in like books. So once you take out the saran wrap or the plastic, it literally just falls through. Like there's nothing holding it.
yeah,
The only thing that's holding it together is a plastic. So once you remove just a little bit from the bottom, you can literally just shake it out and it'll come out.
yeah, it's not hard at all.
It's not hard like at all, because they're trying to sell like the pictures
Yeah,
of like the members as part of a reason why you should get the album. So they don't really have proper carrying cases for the CDs sometimes.
yeah.
So
No, I was just thinking in general, like, why is Target always the victim? But I think it also has to do, I guess, with the fact that like K-pop shops don't have the Target exclusive. They have the regular photo cards that everyone else has.
right.
So like the Target exclusive is what people are looking for to sell it online or whatever it is. So it's
They
just
really should stop doing that.
don't do it, bro.
So we buy photo cards, and just recently I've learned that if you don't preserve them, they can get fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine you buying $100 photo card. Not that I have, but imagine you are.
Mm.
And then you start looking through your collection a couple months later, a year or two later, take out the photo card and it's damaged.
Yeah,
Not cute.
not at all.
Not cute at all. Kathy was actually the one that started this, and thank you for that.
It's all good in the hood, my friend. I started thanks to our besties at Hybe because they decided to sell a binder that was not it in the least, because the pages were beautiful. And at first I was like, oh my God, we're gonna get more of these pages. They should sell the pages as refills on their own so I can add more things to this binder. Yeah, no, those pages were made with heavy PVC materials, which I don't know why, but it ends up warping the cards. And so I don't know how I found out. I'm pretty sure I saw TikToks or Twitter, whatever, and I saw that. And so I ended up buying photocard sleeves to put around my cards to preserve them. But then I saw people saying like even with the sleeve, it can warp the card. And then so I bought new pages, I bought new sleeves, I bought new everything. And then I was doing it on TikTok, literally, live, to kind of switch out my cards. Pulling the cards, even with the sleeves, out from those pages was hell. And even with the sleeves, it was already warping my cards. And I don't think I've had them for more than a year and a half.
Yeah, no.
So if you bought the Permission to Dance binder from Hybe and you have photo cards in there, take them out immediately and don't put them back in, even if you put sleeves on them, because it's going to fuck up your cards. And basically, you will have lost your money.
Yeah.
Unequivocally, because it happened to literally all of my cards.
Yeah.
The Dama Junk folder, I don't know why. Maybe it's just like the amount of time that I had it was less. I don't know, but it seemed like it was less damaging. The pages on the Dama Junk folder from 2022 were less damaging than the Permission to Dance binder. So I don't know. If you want to try the Dama Junk one, I'm not gonna stop you, but I don't think you should give it a try because it's not worth risking your photo cards after all you do to like get them because of the pages when there are so many much like cheaper options everywhere.
It's true.
Literally.
For sleeves, you can actually find a lot of really good options on Amazon because collecting cards is not just a K-pop thing. There are a lot of sleeves that are made for other types of cards that do fit the normal sized smaller photo card,
Yeah.
and they sell them for like $10 for like 200 or 100 or something. It's
Yeah.
not super expensive. My
They're
husband,
originally called penny sleeves because
Mhm.
they're literally like almost a cent. Not really, but
Right.
it depends on which ones you buy. And just to clarify, like there are two different things that you need to keep in mind for the protection of the photo card. One thing is the sheet where you will stick the card in, and a different thing is the sleeve, where is like the actual protection of the card, which Laura is holding in her hand right now. So there are sleeves that are made to the size of the card, so you can then stick them in a sheet, and the sheets are obviously also made of like transparent plastic. But the basically like the bottom line is that make sure that neither your sleeve nor the sheets have PVC in them. And most listings will be very clear about what materials are made of because again, like Laura said, it's not just K-pop fans. There's baseball card collectors, Pokemon card collectors. They are all interested in their cards not getting fucked up. So the sleeves and the sheets will say whether or not they're made with PVC.
My husband plays Magic the Gathering, and he has cards that he likes to, you actually play with them. So if you don't put them in sleeves, they're going to get messed up.
Yeah.
And they're just like your normal average playing cards, but you can use them for photo cards too because a lot of them don't have PVC. So it really is depending on your budget what kind of sleeves you can get, but there is something for everyone.
Yeah.
We like these sleeves that are the exact size of the photo card because they're made just for photo cards, so there isn't any space around it.
Yeah.
And I just like it snug and fit because it's just more aesthetically pleasing for me.
It just feels right. Yeah. So what Laura is showing you guys are these sleeves, and we're in no way, shape, or form sponsored. But if you want to sponsor us, please do, because we buy these literally every month. Because of the rate that we're buying photo cards, we're gonna need so many sleeves. So the store name is Mandu Deco. I found them on TikTok when they were about to do like a heavy restock, and I was like, let me try these. I bought them specifically because the mini tour photo cards, which are the bigger ones, are the ones that are harder to find sleeves for because of the normal ones are very similar to other cards, and it's just very easy. So these are the first ones that I bought, which have the yellow. So the way Mando Deco like differentiates their sleeves is by color, which makes it very easy to know which ones you need. So the yellow ones are for the mini tour cards, and those were the first ones that I bought. I was really happy with them. The packaging is very simple, just says premium mini tour sleeves, the size, and then it says no PVC and acid free. So you know that what you're buying is good for what your cards need. So I have two sizes of sleeves for the smaller cards because so there's just, people are funny on TikTok and Twitter and everything. And I saw somebody one day saying, I'm putting my photo card in two sleeves because no glove, no love. And I was like, y'all are funny. So basically, Mandu Deco makes two sizes that are for the smaller cards. And one is just slightly bigger than the other one so that you can double sleeve a card. The reason you do that is because I guess all of us have a lot of anxiety and we think that we're going to have an apocalyptic event in our hands. And if something were to happen to our houses, or to our binders, maybe you go to a cup sleeve event or you go to a trading event, somebody spills a soda. I guess that's like the most realistic non-anxiety inducing event. And, you know, if it spills in your binder and your photo cards get wet, especially with something that is not just water, I would fucking cry. So people do double sleeves to make sure that their photo cards are as protected as possible. And I don't know, as a way to spend more money, because that's where we're at right now. But
I
yeah,
don't personally double sleeve them,
I just
but
recently
I
started.
understand. I understand why you would. I don't double sleeve them out of, I don't know, like to live my life on the edge. This is the person that
So
is
the only
sleeving
reason why
photocards.
these are not sleeved is because the day that I was doing my unboxing and pulling them out and I was putting them back here, the ring light would shine on the sleeves so that nobody could see them. And I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be a psychopath, I guess, and I'm not gonna sleeve them. But I'll just show you guys. So the purple ones are the smallest size. Like these are the most snug ones that Laura was showing. So if I was only doing one, I would probably do it from the top, thinking that most of the sheets where you stick your photo cards in, the pocket is from the top. So if water comes in, at least it shields it from up here, right? But because I'm
So
double sleeving now,
basically, the opening of the sleeve is at the bottom of the
correct.
photo card if you look at it.
Yeah. But then I was like, okay, if I'm going to protect them from water, I'm going to protect them the right way. So that's why I started double sleeving. And then don't ask me why this maths for me, but it just does. The right way for me to put them in two sleeves for the binder is to go from the bottom for the first sleeve, and then with the bigger sleeve, I go in from the top. So that's how they fit with the double sleeve. The fit, as you can see, is very flat. Like these sleeves are really good. Like again, not sponsored, but please do. Please sponsor us, Mando Deco. And that's how I think, like, if I put this in a sheet and water falls on top, there's no way that there's gonna really be water getting in. At least like there's, if it does get in to the top, it's probably not going to make it all the way in and it's going to cause some suction. So hopefully it won't ruin the card. This is the best way to protect them, to make sure that nothing happens to them. Because if it did, I would code. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk and my tutorial on sleeving cards.
In terms of where to keep them, each person is different. There's people that like to have mini binders. There's people that like to keep them in like boxes. We personally like just normal school binders because they're cheap. At least that's my
Yeah.
my way of thinking. And they're easy to find. And I just like to be able to just page through or flip through them. But there are a lot of different options for everyone, really. It just depends on your taste.
Yeah, right now the K-pop girlies are very into the A5 binders, which are the smaller ones. I don't like them because
Mm,
I would like to fit as much as possible in the binder. So I
that
like
makes
the
sense.
regular 3 ring. I don't know if those are A4. I don't know the sizes, but so I'll just do a very quick photo card tour to show you guys. As Laura mentioned, she has 3 binders and I do as well. So we got the Daikon 2021 set from
Mm-hmm.
BTS and we split it. And then Laura was like, I don't need the binder because I don't have space in my apartment. You can keep the binder. And I said, okay. So she left me with a binder and I ended up using this one for my Lomos because I don't know if the pages inside are made with PVC or not. So I decided not to risk it. And I just keep all the Lomos and all the freebies that I get from orders from every group, everywhere, all at once. They're all here. I order them by group, by member, and that's pretty much the end of my organizing. But so it's half of this binder is literally sugar because like that's all the freebies that I get because my people love me. And that's what this binder has. It's just all the Lomos that I love are here. Then I have a BTS binder, which this binder started out as being like everyone binder, but then the pages of BTS got to be so many that I literally couldn't open and close the rings without everything flying out, like the Harry Potter letters coming through the chimney. So this is my BTS binder. I don't only have PCs here, by the way. I like to keep all my K-pop stuff organized. So when I go to cup sleeve events and they do like photo strips, which also come in albums, or the cup sleeves themselves from the events, if they're flat, I also store them here. So everything that is some sort of inclusion or a cup sleeve or postcards, or even these are fake photos that are from cup sleeves, like regular printed 4x6 photos, I also keep them here. And then I have, these are my mini tour. I always put the mini tour first. So at first I have the ones where I have all 7 members of the cards. So these are all the albums that I have, which are only 3, I think, or 2. 2. This is proof. These are the proof photocards. This is the one that I'm pretty sure it's fake. And then this is the B album. And then this is from Season's Greetings. So if I have all the members together, again, I have them in this first section. And this is also from Season's Greetings. They'll look amazing. And then I go into the member specific. So then I start with a mini tour size. And then I go into the regular size photo cards. So this is how I have them organized. And again, this entire binder is only BTS. And it's already at capacity. Look at this thing. Like, it's thick with 3 C's, I would say.
It's crazy. It's crazy to me that that's like an inch binder, right?
I think this is 1.5.
Oh, that's 1.5. Oh, that makes more sense. I was like, if I have 1.5, how do you only have 1?
No,
That
I
makes
think both
no
of mine
sense
are
whatsoever.
1.5. And then once I took out the everyone else, like I had to be just BTS. This is my
Yeah.
everyone else binder. And so I did another TikTok live another day where I printed out like covers for each of the groups that I made on Canva. Like I'm not a designer by any means. So I just took like a
They're
picture
very
that I
cute.
liked that I thought was like representative of them, and I had their logos. And so again, I have photo strips and cup sleeves, and then I have whatever inclusions I want to keep here. And then for Stray Kids, my main collection is Changbin, and then some Hyunjin's in here to keep Changbin happy because that's what he would
Of
want.
course.
But yeah,
It
so
is.
I have Stray Kids, I have Monsta X. I don't have all of them printed out because I've gotten more since I did all the covers. But I have TXT, I have 17, I have 80s, I have The Boys, I have got 7, I have P1 Harmony. Wow, this is heavy. This is a workout. Don't get dumbbells, just get binders for PCs.
Honestly.
I have EXO and NCT and Shiny
Cute.
and Girls' Generation. Those are all the covers that I have. I have more photo cards of other groups. I have Treasure. I have New Jeans and stuff like that. I just haven't made the covers yet. That is my photo card tour.
Technically, I actually have 4 binders. One is for Lomos, which I used a tiny binder that I have. I have just one big 1-inch. It's not big, but it's 1-inch binder just for 17. I usually the 17 I have by like the groups, except for Woozy because he's the one that I collect, and I just have him at the beginning because I want to see his face. And I have the opposite. I have the little ones first, the normal photo cards, and then the mini tour ones at the end. And then I just do them by like performance team and that stuff. And then I have another binder, a 1-inch binder with like the other groups. I have TXT, Stray Kids, GOT7. What else do I have? I have a lot of GOT7 because I've collected. I'm only missing one of JB's albums. So it's not really GOT7. It's JB, Mark, and Yu-Gi-Oh!
That's the tea.
EXO 2. And then Monsta X. And I have a bunch of just like random groups that I just put them together because we're a multi-stan household. So my BTS binder is the 1.5 inch and it's somewhere, but I'm too lazy to go get it. It's just a lot of gin.
Facts.
A lot
I've
of
seen
gin.
it. I've seen
That's
it.
it.
I've seen it and I've contributed to it.
Yeah. I wanted to actually say that these companies know how we're so obsessed with photo cards, like us being K-poppies, that they make fandom version of albums. For example, 17 loves to make carrot version of albums, which is just like an album that has a member. Sometimes you can choose what like a member or the member that you want. Sometimes it's random. And these are really coveted because they come with at least 28 photo cards, which is like
Crazy.
really, really like it's like I just want to have them all.
Yeah.
And that's another way that they drive up their
Sales.
I got the carrot version of the FML, and this one is completely random. You cannot choose the members. So I now have 24 Jonghuns, and they're great, but I would have liked Woozy. So guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna
Find Woozy on eBay.
or if I don't get it for the other one that I'm gonna get, I'm gonna get another one, and then what a waste of money.
Should go straight for Woozy, but who am I to tell you
Like,
what to do with your life?
literally, it dawned on me who we are as people, but it's fine.
Don't
It's a
weed
great
me in
time over
there
here,
because I only listen. I bought all the Sugar
ma'am.
albums. No. I bought all the Sugar albums that were gonna bring me different cards that I knew what card was in there. The only mistake I made was that I bought the USA card, not knowing that that's what I was gonna get from the concert one. That's it. That was my
Yeah.
only mistake. But yes, am I staring at my 8 Sugar albums and do I have one more on the way? Yes. But they all are bringing me different photo cards. And honestly, I figured most of the photo cards are priced above the album price. So
That's true.
might as well get the album. And also, I don't know if the photo cards that people are selling are real. So if I'm getting the
It's
album,
true.
at least I know for sure that they're real.
And
What
I
am I
think
gonna do with 9 Sugar albums? I'm gonna leave them to my kids and my inheritance, and they should be
that's
blessed
true.
and
That is
grateful.
true. I think that's why I want to buy just one more and try my luck. Also, the rush of getting your bias is ridiculous.
But
So
the
I think
likelihood is also
it's
not.
it's very low. I mean, there's 13 members. He's probably not the most he's not the most popular one.
I really
So
wonder if companies print certain amounts or if they print the same amount of all the members. I would like to know that information.
I want to say, I mean, it'd be smarter if they printed less of the more popular members, but maybe they're not evil all the time. I doubt it though.
Maybe.
But yeah, I think this is a good place to end it.
Yeah, this is a good time to tell you all to go get your own photo card collections going and keep
Mm,
them safe and the right photo card protection for your lifestyle and for what you want them. Because I never plan on taking my photo cards out of my house. I could take them to a friend's house, but I can't imagine myself taking them to like a cup sleeve or a public event where I can't keep my eyes on my cards because I'm extremely fucking protective, jealous, toxic, and a Scorpio. So why would I take them out in public and trust other people? That's not in me. So yeah, I don't anticipate any sort of apocalyptic event or anything, but I do try to protect them as much as possible because I am a clumsy bitch. So I do tend to spill things and, more than the tea that we spill here all the time, I do also spill a lot of water and I don't want anything to happen to my cards, especially if it's my own fault. So hope you
right.
guys found this information interesting and please do like DM us your photo card collections because I like to be jealous looking at other people's binders all the time.
Same. Same. It's a fun time. Thank
Very
you.
fun. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the MIA2K podcast. We have lots of great content coming up ahead, so please don't forget to follow and subscribe to our show on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And if you enjoyed our episodes, please rate us 5 stars.
And for the real-time tea, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook by searching for @MIA2K Podcast. Dale. Bye.